boxes you perhaps should tick when you first consider a cloud? What are the primary considerations before you go out and negotiate?
I would certainly say economic transparency is incredibly important. So business executives tend to look at IT as a box of money, right? There's $50 million I spend. I don't really know what I get out of it, but I do know that there's 500 people serving up 400 applications. And one of the reasons why I go to an alternative provider, like a cloud provider, SaaS provider, is because it's much more granular in terms of how much it's going to cost for that thing, right? I know it's $50 per person per month for this thing. I don't have that level of granularity in my IT group. So I think one of the first things the IT group needs to do is become far more transparent in terms of the workload they produce, right? So if you're managing 500 applications, you should be able to effectively cost out the per person cost of that application.
Exactly.
So that you can look at optionality, right? You said, for this application that prints checks, you should be able to know that that's $50 per person. And the SaaS offering, if I were to look at the transparent economics, it's actually $70 because of the effort to integrate, the effort to back up, the effort to make sure that it adheres to SLAs that my clients require. And I think that's fundamentally what's missing in most of the conversations, is that I'm looking at a $15 million budget versus a $50 per head budget and wondering why you're not making that choice. It seems obvious.
This is kind of where I was going with my line of thinking in terms of, once you understand it to that granularity, you can go and, talk to a department or a particular platform user with some level of clarity in terms of what the spend is. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think that exists today. Today we run infrastructure, we run, and there is no, specific understandings. Like you say, it's a bucket, and it's a big black box, right? And maybe it's got a green light on it that's on every now and then. But that's about it.
It's very difficult to compare because of that, right?
Yeah, and
everything's look cheaper.
That's right. That's right. And so and it's one of the things I'm doing right now is completely blowing away the concept of that box thinking, and take it down to a service level, right down to the application level. So somebody in HR that's using an application, whether it's sitting inside our infrastructure, private, public, they need to understand what it costs on a per person, per desk perspective, what they are costing, what IT represents for them. And that doesn't exist very easily. And a lot of the cloud providers even can't help you with that. They can give you a per user price, but they can't differentiate your users. Only you can kind of do that, right?
You certainly should be asking your providers and partners to help you with your internal economic transparency, right? So you should be able to go to, a big guy to say, you need to help me understand how much this application costs, soup to nuts, so that when we talk about buying more product from you,
right,
we can have that apples to apples.
And therein, I think, lies a challenge, because I think there's a gap there.